Selected number 1 overall by the Tennessee Titans in the 2025 NFL Draft, Cam Ward is a dynamic, dual-threat quarterback known for his electric arm talent and ability to create outside the pocket. With a fearless approach and the athleticism to extend plays, Ward thrives in off-script situations and can make every throw on the field. His strengths lie in his deep ball accuracy, improvisation, anticipation, and mobility, making him a constant threat to opposing defenses. However, his aggressive style can lead to risky decisions, and he'll need to improve his consistency under pressure and adapt to the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. Still, if he can refine his game and adjust to the NFL, Ward has the tools to become a game-changing franchise quarterback in Tennessee. One of Cam Ward's key strengths is his anticipation, allowing him to deliver the ball just before windows open. Timing is everything in the NFL, and anticipation is a vital trait for success. Cam Ward shows great anticipation here, throwing this ball just before the receiver gets out the break of the stem of his route. And by putting this ball up and outside, it allows the receiver to turn upfield and turn on the jets for 6. Here's another example against Georgia Tech. With a too high shot look and the cornerbacks aligned with the receivers, we can assume that this is man coverage. This cornerback inches towards the line of scrimmage, faking a blitz, but Cam Ward quickly recognized the bluff, and the corner didn't fully commit to the blitz, so he knew he had a small window. His base is just a little too wide for my liking, but he's able to rip this ball to the receiver for a first down. Now watch this next clip. Cam Ward executes perfect anticipation and placement of the football, but it still ends in a pick. Pre-snap, North Texas is in a cover 2 look, and the linebackers are coming in hot for a blitz. Miami dials up what I believe is a draw concept, with the tight end running a drag, the restrapper running a go, and the outside receiver running a slant. Cam snaps the ball, and it rotates into a cover 3 look. The go route occupies the safety, pulling deep coverage away, and allows the slant to sit in the soft zone between the linebackers and safeties. Cam Ward correctly identifies the lapse in coverage and throws into the slant between the soft zone. Unfortunately, this ball does get intercepted right off the hands of Isaiah Horton, which is unfortunate because he's only dropped 4 out of 100 passes throughout the entire 2024 season. Here's the same clip from a different angle. You can see the great anticipation that he has, and it hits the receiver right in the hands just like you'd want it to be. Great footwork, great base, everything. But unfortunately, this will end up as an interception on the stat sheet, despite the great read and anticipation by Cam. I'm also starting to fall in love with Cam's accuracy and his touch, despite him leaving a lot of throws left on the field. We are able to recognize that this is man coverage due to the safety following number 11 running in motion across the field. Here, Miami dials up a kinky concept, targeting Xavier Restrepo on the crosser against man coverage. Cam's going to read this from left to right, and with the safety crashing down on the post, he knows he's got Restrepo open for the one-on-one and delivers a perfect ball for a first down. This is why we fall in love with throws like this. When you're able to make throws like this at the college level, you will absolutely be able to do this at the NFL level. So look at this throw and the placement. Absolute beauty. Here's another example of Cam Ward's placement, this time against North Texas. By setting the receiver in motion, we are able to recognize that this is man coverage, with the cornerback following the receiver, so Cam knows he has a one-on-one matchup. During the play, we recognize that the safety is following the tight end on the drag, which leaves the one-on-one wide open, and Cam Ward is able to loft this ball for the receiver to make a play. And while this does fall incomplete, you can see how perfect of a pass this was, right in the receiver's hands and just outside the quarterback's reach. Here is arguably one of the best throws I've seen from Cam Ward by far. Here, we've got a stack concept on the bottom side of the screen, and a switch release on the top. Louisville drops 8 into coverage, only rushing 3, as they're trying to contain Cam Ward and take away the deep shot. Ward begins to feel light pressure and escapes left. Watch how he keeps his eyes downfield. No panic, just poise. And Cam sends a fastball for a touchdown. I really like how Cam is able to feel the pressure coming from his right, and he's able to roll out and keep his eyes downfield. Notice how he's able to reset his base and give himself time to rip an absolute dime to the back of the end zone. Time and time again, Cam shocks me with his touch and placement. I also like how he's able to work across his reads. Syracuse is trying to fake out Cam Ward by acting like it's man coverage. In pre-snap, Cam Ward knows that this corner route with Xavier Restrepo isn't going to work against outside leverage, so he looks outside to the out route. But once he sees that they go off in the zone, he knows he's going to have Restrepo open, and works from left to right to hit Restrepo for a first down. Now, many people might consider this to be an underthrow, but in reality, this is probably one of the most perfect throws you're going to see. If you throw this over, you're allowing both of the defenders to make a play on this ball. By flattening this throw, he's able to protect Restrepo from taking any unnecessary hits and moves the chains. Here's another example of Cam Ward making a throw into an NFL-like window. By motioning this receiver and the defender following him, we understand that this is man coverage. Cam knows he's got an opportunity downfield and throws an absolute dime over the shoulder into the breadbasket for a huge chunk play. That throw literally could not get any better. So gotta love how he's able to use different arm angles. Here, he whips his side arm around the defender to get this to the outside receiver, which turns a deflected pass into a huge chunk play. Cam Ward's pocket presence can also be a thing of beauty. North Texas has stacked the box and they got a spy to prevent Cam Ward from using his legs. But once he feels the pressure coming around the edge, he steps up and out, hitting the running back for the check down. And seeing this makes you fall in love with Cam's game. Here's another example of Cam being able to escape the pressure and read the field. With the linebacker coming in for the blitz, Cam knows he's got to get this ball out fast. First, he looks to the slant, but he realizes he has a safety crashing down. Next, he looks towards the middle, but the receiver isn't even close to getting out of his break yet. Feeling the pressure from the corner, he bails out and escapes from the pocket, showing really good feel. Now, you could argue that he could have hit this out route, but number 6 is coming crashing down ready to make a tackle. But he keeps his eyes downfield and is able to hit the dig wide open in the middle of the field. Now, before we begin this segment, the only all-22 film I could find was interceptions and sacks when it comes to the negatives. I really wanted to focus on his footwork and mechanics because those are the two things that worry me the most, but I couldn't really find anything on it, so bear with me here. Now, when it comes to Cam Ward's decision making, it can really be, in short, goddamn terrible. Here, Cam Ward finds himself scrambling trying to escape the pressure, and he eventually just throws up a prayer ball cross body, and it eventually gets intercepted as expected. And this pick 6 versus Cal was probably one of the worst throws I've ever seen, especially since it was 1st and 10 here. Cam takes a snap, and you could argue he could hit this underneath route right here, but the pressure forces him outside. Now, a smart quarterback in this situation would throw the ball away, knowing that the play is already dead. But for some reason, Cam throws his cross body into triple coverage, forcing a really bad throw on 1st down and gifting Cal 6. It's decisions like these that can lose you football games, especially the big ones. Let's peep the NFC divisional game, Packers vs 49ers in 2023. This play feels almost identical to Cam's, backed up in their own half and on 1st down. The pressure forces Love to the right, and he throws a crossbody and it's intercepted. Bad decision making costs you football games. Timing is also very important when it comes to the NFL, and footwork and mechanics are the main factor behind this. Number 24 at the bottom of your screen beats his man in man coverage, but Cam's base is just a little too wide, and it ends up forcing him to muscle this throw to the receiver rather than generating torque from his hips. And as a result, this ball is underthrown from what would be a go-ahead touchdown. Again, mechanics are extremely important in the game of football. Cam Ward throws this ball a little too sidearm and throws it outside the receiver's frame, a little too far to the left. Hence, the receiver has to turn left to go get this football, turning right into the defender's path for an easy tackle and a loss of yardage. But sometimes, Cam just needs to learn to take what the defense gives you. Georgia Tech drops 8, smothering any passing lanes downfield. This leaves 2 checkdowns wide open, and we've seen Cam throw this before. But Cam turns down both these options, and he ends up scrambling, running for his life where he eventually gets strip set, handing Georgia Tech the ball in the red zone. This out route forces number 20 to flip his hips to commit to it, leaving the underneath dig wide open. But Cam just doesn't throw the ball and steps up into pressure and takes a bad sack. By setting number 3 in motion, we see the defense adjusting their zones, knowing that this is zone coverage. Cam Ward's got Restrepo wide open on the curl, but for some reason he just doesn't throw it, even though he's looking right at him. And on 2nd and 3, Cam takes a sack to make it 3rd and long rather than giving Miami a fresh set of downs. Cam Ward is a talented quarterback with a strong arm, athleticism, anticipation, and a natural ability to make plays on the move. His gameplay often resembles that of Jordan Love, with the ability to create off-script, throw from different platforms, and take aggressive downfield shots. While Ward flashes high-level potential, he needs to improve his consistency, footwork, and decision-making under pressure. His success in the NFL will depend on landing in a system that fits his skill set, like the one being built by Brian Callahan and the Titans, which emphasizes creativity, timing, and quarterback-friendly concepts. With time to develop in the right structure, Ward has the tools to become a dynamic and effective NFL starter, and hopefully a future star.